and just punched him right in the jaw. I was feeling like Rocky.
I got to look at the drunk driving arrest with my fine-tooth comb.
What was the last thing you jumped on?
The bandwagon.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today is Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of The Bandwagon. Great show for you today as five-star Wake Forest basketball commit Jaylen Hoard and UNC women's guard Paris Key jump in the wagon. From Green Bay, Wisconsin, my name is Alex Strouf. You can find me on Twitter at Alex_Strouf, S-T-R-O-U-F, as in football is back. Joining me, as always, from the middle of North Carolina, my right-hand man, my partner in crime, Mr. Victor Hensley. You can find Vic on Twitter at Frezeal33, F-R-E-Z-A-L 33, Frezeal33 on Twitter, Mr. Victor.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, but I'm looking at you in a visor, and I'm not digging it. Bad radio.
Are you saying I'm not cute in a visor?
I'm saying it's probably not your best look.
It's college football season, baby. Everybody wears visors. It's the times.
It's the times. It's the turn of the century here in college football world.
It is that.
We've got a good couple of college football guests coming on, so stay tuned for that. But that's beside the
We
point.
do, actually. I'm excited.
We got a coach, we got an analyst, we got a former player. We got it all.
We do. Look at us. Making money moves, baby.
Minus the money part, but here we are.
You're right.
So let's discuss life and football in this one-of-a-kind podcast.
Is this one of a kind, though, really?
Yeah, I don't.
Just like everybody else. I don't really know.
I was on TuneIn the other day, and our description was longtime partners, which makes us sound like sexual partners.
It makes us sound like we're getting married.
I know.
That's cute.
I know. I gotta fix that. I
disagree.
Okay.
Let me ask you a real question.
Yes.
Real truth question. If I proposed to you, what would you say?
I would laugh in your face.
That's embarrassing to have on the radio.
Bad radio.
That you would actually just tell me that.
Would you actually be on a knee?
One of them, yeah.
Great.
Now how you do it?
I think so.
I've never proposed. I mean, I've only proposed like 4 times, really, honestly, but I've never proposed in a serious manner, and I think I'll get on one knee to you anyway.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you propose as a child to anyone?
No, I don't know. I don't remember my childhood. I don't remember yesterday, so I don't know.
Victor has dementia. Anyway, let's talk football. So I talked about it a little bit earlier this week on some different airwaves. Lamar Jackson is bugging the crap out of me, all the hype surrounding him. Go Ravens.
I know he is. Go Ravens. So, yeah, so you brought this up to me earlier. We had a little discussion and thought we should bring it up on the show. So I just want to go ahead and hear your spiel as to why you believe Lamar Jackson's hype is annoying and it's upsetting you. What is going on here? I need the full rundown.
I understand we talk about, rookie quarterbacks, guys that achieve things at the former level they were playing on, in this case, obviously, the NCAA, former Heisman Trophy winner. I will never once say that Lamar Jackson is not an incredible talent, because obviously that's known, that's a fact. Former Heisman winner obviously that's achieved. So an incredible talent, no doubt about it. But this is a new level. He will not even be a starter. In fact, he'll probably be the third-string quarterback on that roster for the majority of this season. And yet and some of the talk surrounding him right now is that he didn't perform well in that Hall of Fame game. I don't care about that. I don't think that we need to put too much stock into that, obviously. What was it, 4 for 10 or whatever it was. But still, I don't think we need to put too much stock into one game, a preseason game. It's second and third team offenses. I don't care about that. What I do care about, though, is that he is receiving, and I will say rightfully so, but just as much airwave time on different networks and sports talk shows and whatever. Excuse me, I just choked. And I understand why that, because he's the only rookie quarterback to hit the field yet. But, or notable rookie quarterback at that. I don't know what the Bears had on their roster or if the Ravens have another one. But high-profile rookie quarterback, the only one being talked about or as much as anybody else, such as Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, etc. I understand that, but people are acting like this kid's going to come in this year, be the starter, be under center week 1, and will become, an Andrew Luck or Deshaun Watson type.
Not a soul is acting that way.
He's receiving the attention as if that's the case, if he's going to be the lifesaver of this Ravens organization.
He will be.
In 5 years, maybe, but not now.
In 2 to 3 years. Not in 5 and not this year, for sure.
But I think you're kind of proving my point here, though, is, Ravens fans, and you're one of them, but I don't want to generalize the whole fan base, but it seems as if they're the first ones to defend Joe Flacco, say this is his franchise, this is a year he rebounds.
No.
But you're also the same ones. Well, you definitely have said he's going to have a monster year. But
I agree that, yeah.
You are the first one to defend him when it comes to anything, but yet all that's being talked about is a rookie quarterback that will be third string on that depth chart.
I mean, I'll address that part first. No, personally, I'm not a Joe Flacco apologist. I will criticize him if need be, which I have in the past. If you talk to anybody I've talked to about any Ravens game in the past 3, 4, 5 years, I will tell you I've criticized Joe Flacco plenty. I think it is still his team. He will have a monster year this year because he's feeling the pressure behind him. At the end of the day, we're getting rid of him after this year. It's almost a guarantee. We're going to save it.
You think, is this a contract up? I don't know the contract situation.
No, contract up till not till for a couple more years, I don't believe. 2020 maybe. I think we save a lot of money if we get rid of him after this year. Because I think if he stays through this year or after, I think if he stays like to the beginning of next offseason, something like that, we have to pay him a lot more money. So I do believe, unless he comes out and wins a Super Bowl MVP, I think we're getting rid of him regardless. And I think that's the biggest thing is, Alex, I get why you're upset about the hype. I understand that. But let me be clear real quick. First of all, everyone loves quarterbacks, right? That's the position.
No, I understand why he's being talked about. But
okay, let me talk because you don't understand. Like, I'm not even going to talk about him necessarily. Everybody loves quarterbacks, correct? They're the darling of the NFL.
Correct.
Well, right now it's the middle of the off season. There's not really much to talk about. We're going to
not the off season, the beginning of the preseason.
Still the off season, technically.
Not technically at all, but continue.
I mean, you're okay. Whatever, that's fine. I'm not going to get into that technicality. Regardless, the beginning of the preseason, whatever semantics you want to talk about, it's the beginning of the preseason, whatever. So there's not much to talk about. We're only going to be talking about the rookies. We're only going to be talking about Bradley Chubb whenever the Broncos play, right? Those are especially the first rounders. Those are the guys we're going to be talking about. So that's first of all. Alex, I want you to look at there were what 5 rookie quarterbacks taken in the first round. Okay, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
The biggest thing, and this is the reason why I believe Lamar Jackson's being talked about so much, is I want you to look at the other 4 teams that these guys play for, right? You got the New York Jets for the Sam Darnold, Arizona Cardinals with Josh Rosen, the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield, and the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. Okay, these are all teams. All 4 of them are teams who have had quarterbacks after quarterbacks come into these organizations. Some of them will do decently well. Some of them fail. That's just a fact. The Arizona Cardinals haven't had a real stable quarterback since about Kurt Warner. Carson Palmer was all right.
Carson Palmer was stable. I don't think that's fair to say he wasn't.
Well, he was hurt all the time, so they had a lot of quarterbacks in that position.
That's fair.
And then obviously we know about the Jets, Browns, and Bills. Right. The difference between those 4 organizations and the Ravens organization is the fact that they've had a stable quarterback for 10 years now, for a decade now. They've been stable at the quarterback position. They've been a perennial playoff team. They went to the playoffs more times with Joe Flacco than not. You can't disagree with that.
That's fact. That's fact.
The first 6 years of his career, he went to the playoffs. So, they've had all of this success with this organization, all the success with this quarterback, and then all of a sudden, there's a new dude coming in here. There's a new light who's shining behind him. So, with all of the other organizations, there's, they're rookie quarterbacks, but it's still organizations that we talk about every single year with the quarterback position. It gets old, it gets boring, it's dull. With a team like the Baltimore Ravens, and soon we're going to talk about with the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mason Rudolph coming in there here in a couple years. We're going to talk about this because we don't see these organizations change quarterbacks so often. So when you pair that with the simple fact that Lamar Jackson's one of the greatest football players to ever grace the field, in the sense of he's one of the most talented, athletic, exciting football players to ever grace the field.
At the college level, I assume you're saying?
I mean, he hasn't played at the NFL level, so yes, Alex, at the college level.
You would already say he's one of the most exciting players to step on an NFL field?
Will he be? Yes. I mean, it's the same thing. Was RG3 not one of the most exciting players that you've ever watched play football?
Not at the NFL level.
His rookie year was one of the most exciting seasons I've personally ever seen. Maybe you didn't agree, but he killed his rookie year. He's exciting to watch. You should admit, dual threat quarterbacks are exciting to watch.
Well, of course.
Right? Cam Newton's fun. Russell Wilson's fun. Colin Kaepernick, for the 2 years he was really good, they were fun.
Michael Vick was fun. Yeah,
Michael
of course.
Vick, of course. So, listen, Alex, I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you're upset because you're thinking, oh, it's a backup quarterback. Why are we talking about this kid? Blah, 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 blah. He has no chance to start this year unless Flacco potentially gets hurt. I get it, man. I understand. But you have to realize at the end of the day, this dude was a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yep.
Right? He was, like I said, probably the most electrifying player in college football for 2 years.
Yep.
There's a reason we're talking about him.
I understand your point. The point you're trying to make.
Like, what else are we talk about right now?
No, the point you're trying to make is that, I understand why he's being talked about, but he's being talked about in a way that he'll be on the field week 1. That's how he's
talking
being
about
discussed.
him that way. Nobody. Everybody is.
That is why he's being talked about so much. And I know nobody
thinks
that's going to happen, but that's the way it's being perceived right now because it seems like he's going to grace the field week 1 under center, and that's obviously not the case at all.
When was the last time we've seen a stable quarterback actually have pressure behind him? It doesn't happen often. He's a guy. Joe Flacco's a guy who's been there for 10 years. He's won a Super Bowl MVP. Now all of a sudden there's a young guy who's going to put pressure on him. This is an interesting storyline. I understand you don't like Joe Flacco, and you obviously have some kind of beef with Lamar Jackson, but
I don't.
But at the end of the day, if this was on any other team, I'd still be a fan of this story. Because first of all, I love Lamar Jackson, always have.
Yeah,
Second
you
of all,
have.
It's just
You've always
interesting
liked him.
to see a successful starting quarterback actually have pressure behind him. It's exciting.
I don't necessarily see that's I think where you and I disagree. I don't consider this pressure right now at all whatsoever. And like I said, I'll put no stock into the Hall of Fame game, whatever. Lamar Jackson's clearly incredibly talented. When he is the starting guy, I mean, I'll cheer for him. I like Lamar Jackson. I just don't like the hype surrounding him right now because he's not going to grace the field week 1. I get why we're talking about him because we're looking at it's curiosity of the translation, right? We're curious how he'll translate into a pro quarterback because he played in I would say a prominent college system where it's a college system, it's a college-run offense, a system that won't work in the NFL, obviously. But Lamar Jackson, I think he will work in the NFL. It's just not right now. He needs to sit at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years behind Flacco or a veteran like RG3. He needs to sit because he needs to learn, he needs to translate, he needs to become more dynamic. And when he gets on the field, I'll cheer for him. I'll even buy a Lamar Jackson jersey because it says L. Jackson. I think that's cool. What is he, number 9? Number 9's cool.
He's number 8.
Number 8's cool.
You won't do anything.
What's
you
that?
will criticize him just like you criticize Joe Flacco.
That's not true.
Yeah, you will. Listen, Alex, at the end of the day, man, I get what you're saying. I understand. But what you also have to understand is that Joe Flacco, this is a big year for him. I understand you think that Lamar Jackson needs to sit behind him forever and that this isn't a storyline just yet. This is it for Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco doesn't come out and produce this season, it's over. I mean, it's just a fact. Like I said, he's got to do really well this season or he's out the door. So, regardless of what you've been saying...
I don't think so, though. I don't think that's the case at all.
Listen,
I
as a
understand,
person who follows the team very closely, if he does not produce this season, he is gone.
It's a lot easier said than done, though, in that case.
If there wasn't money involved, if there wasn't a lot of money involved, I would agree. There's a lot
but
of money.
If you're cutting the guy, there's still contractual, obligations and contractual different things that work into that. I think there's still a lot of money involved if you cut him.
There is. It's a huge contract. There's gonna be, but he has clauses in his contract that it's weighted more heavily towards the end of the contract. The guaranteed money is weighted and stuff is weighted more towards the end of the contract. Not the guaranteed money, but the money he's gonna receive. So therefore, the Ravens have a chance to get out of this contract, essentially, and just part ways with him, which is going to save them a lot of money, and it makes sense for him to do so if Joe Flacco doesn't produce. So that's what I'm telling you, is that this is a make or break year for Joe Flacco. And it
just astonishes me how much a year where, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Flacco was injured throughout last year, right?
No, he was not. I mean, I think he had a little bit of back issues, but he was fine for the most part.
Did he miss any games or no?
Though I can't remember if he missed a game or not, but he was pretty.
So it was at most 1 or 2 games, right?
Yeah, he was pretty.
So he played the majority. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm thinking of 2 years ago then.
2 years ago he tore his ACL. Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay. But regardless, it just astonishes me how a year ago you were sitting on these same airwaves, defending him, calling him elite, saying how this guy is awesome. You know, we had I think it was like a 30-minute debate 1 year ago. You claiming that this guy's an elite quarterback, top of the food chain quarterback, a guy that can lead the team to the Super.
Yeah,
what do you mean not at all?
I said, let me. I want to clarify everything right now. Never once last season did I sit here and say this dude's elite. He's gonna lead us to the Super Bowl.
Last summer we had a debate about this.
And you know this because we talked about it so much. I never thought Joe Flacco was some elite over-the-top quarterback until he got into the playoffs. If he gets into the playoffs, he is a 100% elite quarterback. If he's not in the playoffs, he's not an elite guy. And I'll be the first one to tell you that. I would have told you that 2 years ago. The dude, and I mean, we can go back on our debates we've had on the show. He's not a regular season quarterback. But when he gets in the playoffs, like Eli Manning, the dude switches it on and he goes. I think he's in a top-tier elite quarterback status when he is in the postseason. Other than that, no. So I understand. I love Joe Flacco. I think he's a great dude. I think he's a pretty good player. But at the end of the day, when you've got somebody like Lamar Jackson behind you, when you've got somebody with so much excitement and talent as Lamar Jackson, I want this guy to play. And I don't want it to be 4 years from now when we're about to lose him and we're going to end up having to trade him or something like that. I want him to play sooner rather than later, not this year, but probably next year. Just even if we have to forfeit a season or two to get this guy some games under his belt, that's fine with me. Listen, Alex, I understand what you're saying about all of this, for real. But I want you to look at the quarterback situation we had in New England, for example. Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Jimmy Garoppolo had barely played anything ever. Barely played a game ever. And all of a sudden, last season, before his contract was up, he was the talk of the town. He had played, 2, 3, 4 games ever, and he was the talk of the town. And now people think the San Francisco 49ers are getting 10 wins out of him. So, and it's the same situation. You had a guy like Tom Brady, a lot of pressure behind him, thinking maybe he'll retire. Should they trade Jimmy G, or is Tom Brady going to retire after this year? Like, it's the same kind of thing. When the star quarterback of this team, the leader of this team, is on his way out potentially, the backups become really, really interesting. Happened with Tom Brady, happened with Brett Favre, it's happening with Joe Flacco. It just happens. So I mean I understand.
I'm just blown away that he's all of a sudden on his way out.
He's not all of a sudden on his way out. Once again, if you knew the contract, then you could say, then a lot of people have had their eyes on 2019 for a reason with Joe Flacco. I mean,
Right.
there's a reason why if we get rid of him before 2019's up, or before it begins, it'll save us a lot of money. So that's the thing. So I think if that weren't the case, if there really wasn't if we knew Joe Flacco would stay until 2020, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But we know that there's a chance he could be out. So that's the biggest thing here. And like I said, I hate hype as much as anybody else. I hate when things are overhyped. But in this situation, it makes sense because it's interesting. So there you go.
All right. Fair enough.
You don't seem pleased with this at all. And it's like you don't,
I am.
It's more or less like you don't understand, but that's okay.
I'm just blown away by some things, but
Hold on. The guy who hates Joe Flacco, who thinks he's awful, is blown away that he might not be the starter next year.
I've never once called him awful.
Yes, you have. You put him in the same tier as dudes like Josh McCown. So,
I never put him that low.
You put him very low. Let's just say that. You've ranted about Joe Flacco for years, and now all of a sudden you're surprised he may be on his way out. Like, where's that coming from, Alex? So now all of a sudden, the dude you've been trashing forever is all of a sudden capable of being the starting quarterback and should not go because Lamar Jackson can't start yet because it's not year 4. Like, is that what's going on here, Alex? Like, you don't make any sense.
I never once said he shouldn't start. I just never called him elite. I said he was a starting quarterback in the NFL.
But you acted like he was a low-tier starting quarterback in the NFL.
I'm not saying Joe Flacco's a subpar bad quarterback. He had a really elite performance in the 2012-13 playoffs, but that doesn't.
Please look at I want you to refer back to your previous arguments.
I've never once called him bad or not starting level.
The guys who have compared him to prove that he's probably not very good.
No, I put him in a mid-level with Eli Manning, with Phil Rivers.
You've not put him on the same level as Phillip Rivers. Never.
Well, Phillip Rivers on the back end of his career. Right now, I would put them at the same level. I think Phillip Rivers is better, but I would put them near the same level.
So if your team had a chance to start a guy like Lamar Jackson, you wouldn't do it?
Well, if my team wasn't the Green Bay Packers, not year one.
You got the greatest quarterback on the face of the earth. I got it. But you wouldn't want to test out Lamar Jackson. You would
not in place of Aaron Rodgers, absolutely not. But over a guy like DeShone Kizer.
If let's say you're the who's a team? Give me a team. The Indianapolis Colts.
That's the same team I was thinking of. So good choice.
Andrew Luck. Would you want to maybe experiment?
Not
with
right now. I want to see what Andrew Luck can do coming back from injuries.
Exactly. Not right now. Not this year. Maybe next year. Potentially, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's like you're just upset for nothing.
I wouldn't say not next year. I wouldn't say next year for Luck.
But you're going to be the same guy who's going to support somebody like Josh Allen when he gets in the game week 6. Like you're going to be.
Well, that's a different case because they don't have a competent starting quarterback right now, unless AJ.
I agree, but you don't think Joe Flacco's that competent either. So
I think he's a lot more competent than a rookie quarterback that hasn't played a real snap in the NFL.
Once again, I'm not saying Lamar Jackson should start this year. I think that's ridiculous. Even you said rookie quarterback shouldn't start year 1, which isn't always
unless they're and we've talked about this before. Unless they absolutely have to, like maybe in the case of Josh Allen, this is going to be a dumpster fire year for Buffalo. So at the end of the year, throw him in. Why not get him snaps? That I get. Same thing with Arizona. I don't know how Sam Bradford will stay healthy because he never does. Josh Rosen's going to see time most likely, especially if Arizona can't produce wins.
But it's crazy to me.
That NFC West is a question mark all around.
Is the fact that you also think that Lamar Jackson's 100% the third-string quarterback, and I don't really get that either. If all these rookies are backups, how in the world is he a third-stringer all of a sudden?
I don't know if he's a third string either. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I'm interested. Who's going to back up Joe Flacco?
Lamar Jackson will back up Joe Flacco.
I think you're probably right.
100%.
He has to earn that role, though. I don't think that's a given. If RG3 can still play,
because the thing is, Alex, is if Joe Flacco goes down, that's prime time for Lamar Jackson to have.
You know what I'd like to see
start.
more than just the speculation surrounding Lamar Jackson. I'd like to hear about the mentorship that RG3 is providing him. Because another dual threat guy.
You would like to hear about it.
Player.
What does that even mean?
To hear about that relationship.
People have talked about it. I've talked about it. Many people have talked about it. That's the reason he's on the team. Everybody knows that's the reason RG3 is in Baltimore right now.
It's a big reason. I believe that.
It's the sole reason. The Ravens
was he signed after Jackson was
signed
drafted?
Before. But the Ravens knew they were taking Lamar. Like that's why they signed RG3. There's literally no other reason. Which I think he's a great mentor for Lamar. Other than the fact that he's not going to be good in the department of not getting hit and taking hits. That's not going to be good, but
but Lamar Jackson's quicker. He's more versatile, I think, than RG3.
He'll
right now, I think maybe not prime RG3, but right now I'd say he's probably more agile.
He is more than prime RG3 in my opinion. He's one of the most athletic players you'll ever watch, but.
No, I won't disagree with that. He was incredible at the college level. I'm excited. I hope Lamar Jackson's winning MVP in the NFL as long as the Packers are still winning the Super Bowl.
I feel like here's the thing, Alex. Is I feel like you kind of have this Lamar Jackson hate, right? And then
I don't.
Listen. And then I call you out. I just don't like the hype. Out on it, and then you're all of a sudden like, well, actually, no, I want to buy his jersey. He wears number 9, right? Cool number. And I hope he wins MVP every year. It's just like you can undercompensate.
It's not a hatred. I hate the headlines surrounding him right now.
There are what I don't know. I don't understand what the headlines are.
He's taking up, hours of showtime on ESPN, FS1, etc.
What do you want them to talk about? What's better? Give me something else.
Other than a third-string quarterback.
He's not a third-string quarterback.
Sure right now he is.
No, he's not.
Go check a depth chart.
What? Yeah, because I'm sure the Baltimore Ravens have given their depth chart to our lads, who has put the correct depth chart on their website. No. It's also the first preseason game, Alex. Depth charts doesn't matter.
Who's playing after RG3?
What?
Who was playing after RG3?
Actually, the only reason he played after RG3 is because they wanted people to stay tuned for the second half of the football game. But I mean, you're right.
Yeah, that's what they were worried about.
You want to know who else started before Lamar Jackson? Josh Woodrum. Is he third string, Alex? Is he the third string quarterback and Lamar Jackson's fourth?
I don't even know who that is. So does that make Lamar Jackson a fourth string quarterback? Real questions.
It means that they wanted people to tune into the Hall of Fame game second half, and that's why they put Lamar Jackson at the beginning.
That's
of the second
fair,
half.
but he was probably playing with fourth string offensive linemen then.
He was. That's why he didn't do well, because he had to run every single play. He didn't have time to throw.
I'll give it to you.
So there you go.
I'll give it to you. I don't hate Lamar Jackson.
You do.
I'm not enjoying the headlines that are around him. I am more worried about Joe Flacco bouncing back. I'd like to.
You wouldn't like to see Joe Flacco. Please stop. Can we go to the?
I do. You're right. I do like hating on Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I know.
A little
For some
bit.
reason, you're acting like once again you're overcompensating for like your mean comments, and you're like, I don't want him to win MVP. I want Joe Flacco to be good all the time. Like, shut up. Please stop overcompensating. We know you don't.
He's too easy to hate on. I gotta pick a new
Joe,
target.
You don't like Lamar. Let's move on.
Not facts, but let's move on.
Anybody who could listen to the show could tell you that, but that's okay.
I don't think hate's the right word.
Okay. I don't know what you would call it then. You're
only person I hate is you. Let's bring in a 5-star recruit.
Criticizing them, so.
Let's bring in a 5-star basketball recruit for the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. His name is Jaylen Hoard. He's 6'8", way taller than both of us, it hurts me a little bit because I always feel like I'm tall, and then I interview these basketball players. So with that, go Wake Forest, go Demon Deacons. The great North Carolina road trip continues. Here's Jaylen Hoard.
We are joined now by Wake Forest commit, brand new freshman here at Wake Forest, Mr. Jaylen Hoard joining us now. Jaylen, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
So I guess let's start with the decision. Obviously, a top 25 recruit in the nation. You were a 5-star guy. A lot of offers, obviously. A lot of different schools taking a look at you. You chose Wake Forest. Bring me into that decision. What was that like?
Wake Forest, just from the beginning, they've been recruiting me since day one. Once I got to America, actually, we had like an open gym with my high school, and they came to see me play a little bit. They offered me from there. And then we kind of just built a relationship, and Coach Danny Manning and his coaching staff, they really stayed consistent throughout the whole process. They came to as many basketball games that they could during my regular season in high school and throughout AAU. So, and they never sugarcoated anything. They was always like honest the whole way through. They told me what I needed to work on, things like that, and I really liked that about how they recruited me. And then me and my dad, we came on campus, and I just felt like it was the right fit for me, so that's when I made the decision.
And you obviously came from France.
Yes, sir.
You played a lot over there with national teams and things like that. So how do you expect the competition to really be over here in college and everything like that? You obviously played a couple years in high school here at Wesleyan.
Yes, sir.
But
much different. The game over here is much more physical. It's more fast-paced. You really get up and down, and I think that'll be the main difference. I feel like I'll be able to do good, but it'll be an adjustment in the beginning, I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously with you committing here, I mean,
Yes,
the last couple of seasons haven't been ideal for this basketball program, but being, the stats or the level that you are, obviously you hope to turn this around in your first season. So how do you expect things to go this year, obviously, coming off, I believe it was only like an 11-win season for the Deacons?
I feel like we can do, much more better than last year. Not just myself, but like the other incoming freshmen that are coming in with me. I feel like we have a great group of guys, and we also have some grad transfers. I feel like they'll be able to help us a lot as well. Personally, I feel like, I can do a lot of things on the court, just with my versatility. I feel like I can bring a lot to the team. And then, the other freshmen, Isaiah, Jamie, and Sharon, I feel like we'll be able to impact the team in the right way and, have a much more successful season than last year.
And, coming off that 11-win season, maybe fans might be a little, upset, maybe a little depressed, something like that.
Yes, sir.
I got to know, man, what are 3 reasons why fans should want to come see you guys play this year?
I think it'll be exciting. It's a lot of new players, so just start fresh. I feel like we have intriguing pieces this year, so we just like new. I feel like all the guys were really competitive. We had our summer sessions and everybody's getting after it. We're working as a team, but still like keeping it really competitive. And I feel like those reasons are why the fans should come see us play.
So I want to bring up, growing up, Jaylen, you've always been surrounded by basketball. Your dad,
Yes, sir.
your mom, your godmother, I'm not mistaken, played in the WNBA. So
Yes, sir.
it's always been kind of your main passion, always what you wanted to do, I imagine, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Since I was a kid, my dad, he kind of, introduced the game to me, obviously, and I just fell in love with it. They never really pushed me, but I was kind of like in that that field or whatever. So I always liked basketball, and I just always wanted to play the game. So.
And I believe you're only the third 5-star recruit ever to come to Wake Forest.
Yeah.
So is there any pressure on you? Do you feel that in any way, shape, or form?
Not really. I mean, you can kind of see it as pressure, from other people, but I don't really think about it that much. I know I have, expectations, from everybody else, but I'm not really focused on that. I'm just trying to do what my coaches need me to do. So.
Tim Duncan wasn't a 5-star recruit, and you are. So,
Yeah.
So can we say you're better than Tim Duncan? Is it fair to say that yet?
Nah, not really. I mean, he's just a great player, one of the greatest of all time, and I just hope that one day I'll be able to, to get to that level. But for now, Tim Duncan, he's better than me. So
Right.
Yeah.
So you've played at the Nike Hoop Summit, Jordan Brand Classic, things like that. You've killed it. Let's just say that.
Yes, sir.
You're playing against guys like Zion Williamson, Nasir Little from Carolina, Zion from Duke,
Yeah.
and people like that. So I just want to know, first off, how is it playing against that level of competition with those highly recruited guys,
Yeah.
just like yourself, and then also. Do you kind of want to, anytime you're playing with them, do you kind of want to show them up a little bit and say, hey, I want to be the king of North Carolina this year?
Yeah, I mean, so playing against and with those guys, it was great. I started off with the Jordan Brand, I believe. Yeah, so that's when I first played. I was playing on Nazir's team, and it was good, competing with high-level guys. It was fun, anytime you get around, good players like yourself and stuff, it's, high-level basketball, so it's always good to play in that. And then at the Hoop Summit, I played against all the Americans, and that was good. I had never played Team USA before, so that was a good experience. And then just when I go up against those guys, I feel like I have something to prove, to show that I belong in the same conversation as those top players. So.
And it'll be good to continue some of those that competition this year in the ACC. Obviously, he mentioned Duke and North Carolina for them respectively, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, we were. Me and Zion, we were roommates actually at Jordan Brand, so we talked a little bit about that, yeah. And then Nazir came, we had, a little trash talking going on, and it was just all fun, so. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like he said, being in the ACC with these guys, you're going to see them quite a bit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, how's that going to feel?
It's going to feel great. That's one of the reasons why I committed here also, because I went to play in the ACC, it's the best players, it's the best conference in America, so, I'm just really excited to play in the ACC this year.
So getting back to Wake Forest, I mean, Olivier Czar, I believe I said that sort of close. Another guy from France. So did that play into your decision coming here at all? I mean, I know you guys played a little bit together overseas, right?
Yeah, we're actually really close. We played on the national team together, U17s, and we played on the same academy, I would say, INSEP. And, we were really close. We hang out a lot. And initially, it actually didn't play into my decision, but the fact that he was here was, made it feel more like home.
That much more special, right?
Yeah, so it was just, a great fit.
We're a big fan of bold statements on this show. So I just want to know, you got any hot takes, bold statements to make for this season?
Not really. I mean, not really. I feel like we'll do good this year, and just don't sleep on Wake Forest. So that's it.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Fair enough. Being a guy from France, we're friends with Michael Petra, so I'm sure you're
Okay.
familiar with on the show. So I mean, well, statement A from him. Have you ever talked to him? Have you ever been in contact with Michael?
I never talked to him, but when he was with Orlando, I believe he was one of my favorite players, actually.
Yeah. So you just hoped, be something like he was in the NBA, right? I mean, eventually you're going to get to that level. There's no doubt about it. So, I mean, just seeing what he's done representing France, right?
Yeah, when I saw him play for the first time, I was, I didn't know about him, but I just knew he was a French guy on the Orlando Magic. So I kind of looked at his game, and he was really good, actually. I was surprised and everything. And I just started following him ever since. So, I was, highly impressed by his game and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of French players in the NBA at this point. Is there any other guys you're trying to, model your game after? Or any French guys you're like, yeah, that's my guy right there?
Not necessarily that I would try to model my game after, but I know that me and Frank were real cool. He's one of my close friends. Just the way, he was a lottery pick and everything. I just want to follow in his footsteps. So.
Any players in the NBA you see he mentioned model your game after or take little things away from them. Is there any guys that maybe you've built a relationship with as a mentor or any guys you look at that say, yeah, I want to learn from him?
So a relationship. I mean, I know Chris Paul. We have a relationship because I play for his AU team.
Right.
But as far as molding my game after, no, I just kind of take bits and pieces from everybody's game. Players I like to watch is Carmelo. His like mid post game and everything because with my size and everything, I feel like that's where I can be able to impact the game a lot. And then I like old school players like Paul Pierce, old school.
Sure.
I mean, he's recent, but like still he retired. And then Scottie Pippen, he was like the ultimate versatile player, so I like to watch him a lot.
So the aggression is important to you because you mentioned it earlier. I mean, the aggression at the college level is going to be fun to see. So you like the aggressive game, right? Is that something that maybe is something that appealed to you with the NCAA?
Yeah, it's just competing. It's just like I want to play against the best, and I'm not trying to hide. I wasn't trying to stay in my country and escape the competition. So that's why I came over here. So.
I mean, how the transition's got to be kind of wild, right? I mean, obviously, like I said, you've played a couple years in high school here at this point, so you're used to this and everything. But like, how hard was it for you to transition from being in France for the first 15, 16 years of life or whatever, and then coming in here and just trying to dominate?
Well, the transition started off, off the court stuff, different lifestyle and everything, obviously. So I had to get adjusted to that. But then as far as basketball. My first couple of games in high school were actually easy because we didn't play that great of teams. So I was like killing everything. But then once we got to the national stage, that's when I started playing better players, and that's when it kind of got a little, I guess, difficult because I hadn't played like that great of competition before. So that was an adjustment. It was much more physical. Guys are like 6'10", 230, 240. So that was kind of different. But I feel like I adjusted pretty well. So.
My last one for you, Jaylen.
Yes,
if there's one guy in the ACC this year, who do you want to dunk on the most? I'm just curious. Is there anybody that jumps out at you?
Not really, just anybody. Anybody in the paint, I feel like I can dunk on.
You can dominate.
Yes, sir.
If only Grayson Allen was still around, right?
Oh, yeah.
Don't even bring him up. Anyway, so I've actually got two more for you. So we brought up Tim Duncan earlier, right?
Yes, sir.
There the two other 5-star recruits from Wake, Chris Paul and Al-Farouq Aminu, right? So, like I said, we like bold statements, we like confident answers, and we also like starting rivalries. Yeah. When you're done with Wake Forest, will you be the greatest Demon Deacon of all time?
That's the goal, honestly. That's one of my goals. I want to be the best, one of the best to ever play, like anybody that plays basketball. So I feel like, if I reach my full potential, I have the ability to do that. So
love it. That's confidence right there. I like
confidence.
Yes, sir.
So, my last question is, tomorrow we're actually going to be talking to a couple of your rivals, I guess, at this point at Carolina. We're going down to Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So, is there any messages you want me to or us to deliver to them?
I mean, like I've played with Kobe, so that's my guy, and I don't know. He's not going to go off against Wake Forest next year. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will make sure to deliver that message.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. All right, I think that's all I've got.
We'll tell Nazir we say hello. He says hello. He says what's up. We'll see you on the court.
Yeah.
That has been Jaylen Hoard. Jaylen, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure. Best of luck this year, all right?
No problem. Thank you.
All right, man.
We are joined now by UNC women's basketball guard Paris Key on the Bandwagon. Paris, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
So I guess let's start with what you're up to this weekend. I mean, obviously helping out Antoine Jameson in his annual camp. Always fun to give back. Just talk to me about how this experience has been for you.
It's been a great experience. I mean, to be around such, someone who has such a great influence on basketball. Right. Being around these little kids, being able to inspire them and help them out and help them learn the game of basketball is just a great opportunity.
And you look like you're having a lot of fun out there. Like I think earlier we saw you fall down laughing. Like how is it like joking around with these kids and some of the men's players and your teammates out there? And
well, I consider myself a very competitive person. Like to win, even if it's kids that are like 6 years old or the teenagers that I have out there. So I mean, we're just trying to win, trying to compete the best way we can, and also encourage them and keep a good sport.
Right.
What's the best thing you've seen this weekend? Whether it's a little kid, like I saw wrestling matches going on during yoga. Like, what's the best thing you've seen this weekend? If you had to pick one.
That's tough. The best thing, wow. I don't know. Maybe the 4-second The
the
4
layup
second,
drill where they go full court. Yeah,
the
that-
layup drill. The 2 girls were like the finalists on yesterday's competition.
Yeah.
They were great, representing for the women out there.
Yeah.
See, no, I wanted to ask about that real quick too. I'm actually gonna get to that, but I want to ask, how hard would it be to do that in 4 seconds? Because I don't think we were here yesterday watching that, and I looked at him and I'm like, I don't think I could do a layup like that in 4 seconds.
It's very difficult. I think the biggest thing is trying to take a little amount of dribbles as possible, and that's hard. You're taking a lot of steps between each dribble.
Right.
And we do it from block to block, so all the way down from the other baseline to the other end. It's pretty difficult.
Explains why we're not D1 athletes.
I mean that and a lot of other things.
Yeah,
but yeah.
a lot of other things. So, well, Victor was kind of leading into it. A lot of women here, a lot of girls here. Obviously, that's really good to see that the next generation, if you will, of women's basketball is representing, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see girls here. I know there's a lot of guys here. They might be a little intimidated, but we're just trying to encourage them. Me, Jocelyn Jones, and Jamie Cherry, just trying to help them. It's okay if you mess up. You're playing against guys. It's all right.
I've seen a lot of good plays by them. Quite a few steals and blocks by the girls too. So
I have too. I mean, I've been really impressed.
Yeah.
Like, it's looking good out there.
Yeah, they're competing.
Yeah. So getting away from camp a little bit, I want to talk about you and your season. So last season wasn't the best for UNC. Unfortunately, you were, I think, 15-16, 4-12 in the ACC. How do you plan to improve on the year this upcoming year?
Well, I mean, we only lost Jamie Cherry, so the upcoming season we lost a point guard, so we have to definitely fill that spot. And we didn't have Destiny Walker and Stephanie Watts last year due to injuries, so having Shayla come in from a JUCO will definitely help us out. I know we have Dino this year; she'll help us in practice, make practice very competitive. And Dez and Steph coming back, they just they elevate us so much. I'm very excited about the season.
Right, yeah.
I know that we'll definitely have people that definitely help me out, help Bailey out in the post. So we'll definitely, hopefully, make some noise next year.
Hopefully, noise indeed. But you've already made noise here in your first 2 seasons at UNC. Obviously, 1,000 points in your first 2 seasons. Only one of 4 women to do that ever. So personally, it's been fun for you. But you guys haven't made the tournament yet. So obviously, you mentioned kind of the roster facelifts you guys will be getting. But what are some steps, both personally and as a team, you guys can take to maybe get back to the tournament for the first time in what will be 4 years?
I think our biggest thing is defense. Our transition defense hasn't been the way it's supposed to be. It's been below average, really, and that's something that North Carolina takes pride in their defense. We're a fast-breaking team. We like to get up and down the court, but rebounding and defense is something that our coaches take very much pride in, and we haven't had that in the past couple of years. And there's no excuses for that. I mean, the players that we have on the court, we have to get it done no matter what. And so I think that our biggest thing this summer was, focusing on defense and trying to, even teams that we feel like we should beat by 30 or 40 points, locking them down on defense so they don't score, as a many amount of points that they want. I think that's our biggest thing that we really have to work on.
Right.
And the biggest goal is making it to the tournament.
Yeah. Right. And so if I'm a fan, if I'm a UNC fan, or really just a women's basketball fan in general, I want you to I've put a couple people. We've been on a little tour of the state, and I've put a couple people on the spot. What are 3 reasons why fans should come watch you this season?
Well, I feel like I'm already supposed to be ready for this question. For one, it's Carolina.
That's an easy one. That's a gimme right there.
Yep.
And then of course the Duke and UNC rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this color is like the best color ever. So like,
It's a nice color.
I would agree.
Carolina
with that.
blue, our arena is definitely pretty nice. So
Right.
just to come and see all the greats that have played there.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Over in Carmichael.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
didn't even need to be ready. You killed that question. So, we hear a lot, and we hear a lot about, the GOAT conversation, Jordan versus LeBron. But I want to switch it up with you. I mean, the WNBA is more than likely in your future. So let's go there. Diana Taurasi, who I think is probably the easy choice, or the up-and-comer in Maya Moore, who's winning championships left and right. Who's the GOAT of the WNBA?
Just so you know, whenever you are in the WNBA, they're going to hate
You'll be right
you
in
no
that
matter what.
conversation. But right
No
now,
doubt,
you're
no
not,
doubt.
so.
I have to say Maya Moore. I feel like I've grown up watching her play. Her game just inspires me. I mean, she has a motor. She's she elevates everyone around her. She's such a great leader on her team, and she not only leads on the court but off the court. I know she's a great person, and I think that if I could be anyone, I would want to be like her, you know. So I idolize her a lot. So.
Okay.
Nice.
So there's two things we love on this show. It's confident answers and starting rivalries. So I just want to know, which one's better, Paris Key or Paris France?
Really? That's what you came up with? I like it.
I want you to start a rivalry with the entire.
Tough. I would say Paris Key.
Yeah.
Better than Paris. We like the confident answer.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got.
We couldn't do it with Antoine because nobody spells her name Antoine. So.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, Paris Key, best of luck. Thanks for joining us. I told you it wouldn't be that bad.
Nah, that was great.
Best of luck this year. Let's get that Tar Heel Blue back to the tournament, and
Thank
best of
you.
luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
We are back. Thanks again to Jaylen Hoard and Paris Key for joining us today on the bandwagon. Victor, you were shorter than both of them, for the record.
That was funny. I should be. They're both basketball players. I'm not.
I was taller than Paris, and I felt accomplished.
I mean, okay. She's also a point guard for a women's basketball team.
Shooting guard.
Oh yeah, you're right. My fault. Sorry, Paris.
Sorry, Paris.
She's a guard. There you go.
Victor's your classmate.
I'm her classmate, and she thinks we're awesome. She said that. She actually said we were awesome.
Yeah, she told us we were awesome, and I appreciated that very much.
How cool was that? I
awesome.
I also loved how you mentioned to her in the interview, I'm pretty sure, that she was nervous.
No, that was off the air.
Oh, was it off the air? I just mentioned it on the
off
air.
the air.
She was nervous to talk to us, and it was great, because we're actually celebrities now, I think. So.
I think so. I think that makes us famous somehow.
She did.
Because we had an elaborate setup.
We are. Can we talk about our setup for a minute? Because I don't think we ever did. So we were set up in the tunnel of the Dean Dome. On
a very messy small table.
And when I'm saying that we were set up in the tunnel, we were set up in the tunnel. Like, we were way inside the tunnel.
We were like 20 feet back, probably.
We were like near
maybe 15, 20 yards, actually.
We're like that booth at the bar that's really close to the bathroom in the corner. That's essentially where we were.
You okay? Are you okay?
Never really choked on air before. We're good.
I like this. This is good.
We're good.
This is uncomfortable, uncharted territory.
So yeah, we were in the corner near the bathroom or whatever.
Right next to a printer. Can we add that?
We were next to a printer. There's a garage door behind us.
Yes.
There were people coming out. Like, the players' lounge, I think, was right in front of us, and there were people coming in and out, and nobody ever looked at us, really. Like, at the beginning, they kind of did, but then they just kind of just ignored us for the rest of the time.
I said hello to Sterling Manley. That happened.
Did he say hello back?
Yes, that's when you were going. You were elsewhere, talking to someone else, and I was at the table, and Sterling Manley was going into the lounge. He said, "What's up, man?"
Oh, that's sweet of him.
Hey, Sterling, how are you?
We also
I'm doing well.
said, "How you doing?" to Tyler Hansbrough. He was there.
Yeah, sup, T-Han.
I got shot down by Kendall Marshall.
Sorry about that.
And then we also learned that freshmen can't talk before the first game. So we're learning a lot of stuff. It was a fun time in the D.
We learned that day. We learned.
We did learn.
We got turned and we got learned.
I don't like you. Speaking of fake words like learnt and turnt, I've got some fake names for you.
Turnt is in the dictionary. Turnt is in the dictionary.
Turnt is in the dictionary. Turnt is in the dictionary?
Turnt is in the dictionary.
T-U-R-N-T?
Yes, it's in the dictionary.
I don't believe that.
I'm going to go prove it.
Pull up the definition. While he's pulling up the definition, we have I've got some real or fake names for you. So last show, I believe, it was either the last show or the show before last. It was last week, regardless. You mentioned how
turnt is an adjective in the Macmillan Dictionary. Thanks.
In the what dictionary?
The Macmillan Dictionary.
What is what? What is that?
The Macmillan Dictionary? I don't know.
Is that a thing? Is it a word in Webster's? That's the only thing that matters to me.
It's in the Oxford Dictionary.
I don't care. It's not Webster's.
It's on dictionary.com.
It needs to be on Webster's for it to be real.
Oh. Merriam-Webster.com.
Okay.
Turnt.
You're right. All right.
/ turn up.
/
one word, turn up.
Turnip. All right.
Not the vegetable.
No, sorry.
You vegan.
Yeah, you're right. So, all right. So I've got you talked about last week on the show how there's a lot of fun names during NFL training camp. So what was the name you brought up last week?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. He came into the lid store all the time.
Oh, Alstivus Squirrelwell.
Alstivus Squirrelwell. So if I was proposing that name to you, would you say it's real or fake?
If I didn't know him, I'd say that's fake, but it's
right.
really well made up.
All right, so here
Actually,
we go.
no, I take that back. I would say that's real because it's too good to make up.
Yeah,
You'd
right.
never come up with Alstivus.
No, I also probably wouldn't come up with Squirrelwell. So anyway, so I've got, I think, 22 names here for you. So you got to go real or fake. I'll tell you your score at the end. You ready?
Is there 11 of each?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, sorry, I've got 23. I think I've got 12 of one and 11 of one.
Okay, good. So we're half and half. I like that.
All right, you ready?
A little consistency here on the bandwagon.
Well, yeah, 100%.
I love it.
You ready?
Let's talk. I'm ready.
All right. Will Wilson.
That's fake.
It is fake. Ulrich John.
Oh, boy. I'm going to say that's real.
That is really. He's an offensive lineman for the Patriots. Scott Quessenberry.
You smirk. That's fake.
That is a real guard/center for the San Diego Chargers. I don't call it Los Angeles. I think he might also have a brother because on another team there's also another Quessenberry.
We have listeners in San Diego. They're going to be slightly mad at you.
Why? Go Chargers.
Because San Diego hates the Chargers.
I don't accept their move to Los Angeles. You know that. I call them the San Diego
I don't either.
Chargers.
I also don't accept the Rams move to Los
they're still
Angeles.
St.
I've called
Louis
them
to me.
St. Louis too many times.
I called them St. Louis to B-Dot off air. To his
That's
face.
true.
And I don't even know if I corrected myself. Anyway, next up, Brad Orwellian.
That's real.
No, it's fake.
That was impressive. That's a good one, Vic. You're getting good at this.
I'm doing well, I think, thus far. Camus Grugier Hill.
That's too real to make up.
You're right. That is a linebacker for the Eagles.
I like that. You can't even say this one.
I'm going to pass on this one, see if I can do it later. Whew. All right. BJ Bello.
That's fake.
That's real. He's a linebacker for the Browns.
I just said the F word.
Oh, you can't do that on air. Say F word. Kiki Kuti. I'm going to repeat myself. Kiki Kuti.
Kiki, Kutu love me. That's fake.
That's awful. That's actually a real name. It's a wide receiver.
God, I'm
it's
struggling.
a wide receiver for the Texans. Sean Bricks.
That's fake.
That is fake. Danny Charles Hyde.
Fake.
Kind of like Willie Cauley-Stein. That is fake. Brianne Bodie Calhoun.
That's real.
That is real. He's a defensive back for the Browns.
You would never come up with Calhoun.
What was that coach's name? John Calhoun? What was his name? Jim Calhoun?
Jim Calhoun.
John Calhoun was that senator that hit that guy with the stick, wasn't it?
What are you talking about?
Back in like the 1800s, that happened. I think somebody got
I have no idea what you're talking
beaten
about.
with a stick in the Senate. I think Calhoun. I don't remember. I can't remember who did that.
I like that headline though.
Anyway.
Senator beat by stick.
Laquan Burbanks.
That's real. I've heard that name.
You didn't hear it because it's fake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's a Burbanks then that I've heard.
Probably. Adrian Waddle.
Really? When you can't keep a straight pace, that's how I know you're proud of what you've come up with because it's fake.
Adrian Waddle. Real
It's
or
fake.
That's a real name. He plays the offensive line for the Patriots.
Oh my God, I suck.
Oh, you do. Jimmy. I can't do that one yet. I'm still struggling with that one, man. So Jackson Printeries.
That's a different name.
Jackson Printeries. Printeries. I don't know.
You just said Jackson Printers. That's fake.
Yeah, it's really fake. I'm having fun over here, man. Brandon Plum.
Real.
That is not real at all.
I've got a bad ratio going here. My kill-death ratio is subpar.
Jimmy Kickums.
If it's real, he better be a kicker, but I'm going fake.
That's the one I couldn't say.
Jimmy Kickums. It's not even that funny.
He sounds like he should be a character on the Hey Arnold or something. Jimmy Kickums. Whew. Okay, I've never laughed that hard in my life. Okay.
Jimmy Kickums.
Jimmy Kickums.
It's just late and I'm sleep deprived. That's not even funny.
Ooh, okay. So
Jimmy Kickums.
Shut up. Jimmy Kickums.
I can't.
Okay. I'm sweating hard. No. Okay. Hey, listen. Are you ready?
Okay.
Sojourn Shelton.
My stomach hurts.
Sojourn Shelton.
That's real.
It is really. He's a cornerback for the Bengals.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, I'm ready.
DJ Blackashaw.
Oof, that's fake.
That is fake. Good job. Kingsley Opera.
I wish you would have called him Oprah. That's I gotta go fake.
That's real. He's a nose tackle for the Texans. Yeah, it's opera. I don't know how to say that.
Jimmy Kickums.
Kickums.
Why did you even put that in?
Because it was funny. I cracked up when I came up with it. Are you ready? Mac Creamer.
You just took louder milk and made it creamer. That's
yeah,
fake.
I did. Oh, that's funny. All right. D Virgin. D Virgin.
You're not a football player.
He is a football player. He plays cornerback for the Texans.
I said you're not a football player.
Well, too bad you got it wrong. Because I'm going to pretend like you said that was real.
I would have said fake.
That was a really good joke.
I would have said fake.
Yeah, I know you would have. That's what I meant to say. It was actually a real player.
Where does he play?
Texans, cornerback.
Is it spelled F-V-I-R-G-I-N?
Yes, it's D.
I want his jersey. I want his jersey.
D-E-E-V-I-R-G-I-N. D Virgin.
Where does he play?
Cornerback for the Houston Texans. I have to say
I
it one
want
more
his
time.
jersey.
Okay, I'll buy you one. All right. Louis Vissliger.
One more time.
Stop. You're making me laugh with your face. Louis Vissliger.
Louisville Slugger. You suck at this.
Louisville Slugger. It's not Louisville Sluggers. Louisville Sluggar. Sorry. Sluggar.
Yeah, because he's real. He's fake.
He's real. Plays cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're so full of it.
Full of it. He does not play anywhere at all because he doesn't exist. Orson Charles.
Olson Charles?
Orson. Orson.
Which one is it, Olson or Orson?
Orson. O-R-S-O-N. Orson Charles.
That's real because you just spelled it for me.
I could spell any of these for you. I can spell Louisville Slugger if you'd like.
You should have called him Louis Vissliger.
That would be Louisville Slugger. That's not Louisville Slugger, dum-dum.
How do you spell Louisville?
I mean, there's an S in Louisville, but you don't pronounce it.
Yeah, but you didn't need to say it like Louisville Slugger. You should have said Louis Vilsiger.
Okay, anyway. Oh, that's it.
How'd I do?
Hold on, let me check. Is that all of them? Yep, that's all of them. So let's see. Let's go through your tally. You've got 1, 2, 3. Oh no, we have one more. Sorry, I missed one.
Is it the one you couldn't stand? Or was
Jimmy Kickham's?
Jimmy Kickham's.
That was the one I couldn't pronounce. I tried like 4 times.
Oh, I've got tears in my eyes.
Dietrich Wise Jr. Dietrich Wise Jr.
Oh boy.
Dietrich Wise Jr.
Junior. Fake.
That's real. He plays defensive line for the Patriots. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 23.
Hey, more than 50%.
Barely. But yeah, good job. If you would have gotten one less, then yeah. You were very good at the fake names. You were pretty terrible at the real names. So
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
said fake a lot.
You did. Wow. All right. Good job. Jimmy
Thank you.
Kickers salutes you.
Wow, that was incredible.
Oh, I can't even. I feel like that's a walk-off for me, man. I can't.
Oh, that was good.
All right, you want to get to bandwagons? You got something to
Let's
jump
get to
on?
bandwagons. I got something to jump on and jump off of.
Who's going first?
I guess I'll lead off
I love it.
because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt me to lead off sometimes.
Never does.
Leadoff hitters are good at baseball.
That was an unnecessary statement. I'd like for you to get to your bandwagon, please.
All right, so I am going to jump on the bandwagon of illegally trapping.
Illegally whatting?
Trapping.
Trapping. Illegally trapping. Okay.
So, 13 North Carolina, the University of North Carolina.
Yeah, that's my school.
That's your school.
Yeah.
13 UNC football players have been caught and suspended for illegally selling special edition Nike Jordan shoes,
Yeah, they did.
which is obviously illegal. So these football players that are apparently not paid under the table at all,
They're not.
We're
Trust
trying
me,
to
they're
make
not
a-
good enough. Continue.
we're trying to make a little side dough by selling their special edition school-issued Jordan shoes, Jordan kicks, if you will, including quarterback Chaz. Tell me if I'm pronouncing
Chaz Surratt.
Surratt. Okay, I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if that was right. Is he going to start at all?
Hope not. He sucks. He started a lot last year, and he was hot garbage, Alex. Hot garbage.
Hot hard H. Have been caught, suspended for 4 games each for selling these shoes. So I'm jumping on the bandwagon of illegally trapping, trying to make that side dough because they're not football players that are paid under the table like a lot of them. Alabama. Clemson.
Taking shots.
Uh,
I like it.
I'm just shooting my shot, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm slandering these programs, and I apologize.
Allegedly.
initially.
Not even
Actually,
really,
unallegedly.
Actually, not really allegedly at all. Just your opinion. But
Not even an opinion. Just straight up BS.
okay.
What's the other term? What's the PG rather? BS?
Crap.
No. Bologna sausage. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, bologna sausage. Never heard that in my F-wording life, Alex.
That's bologna sausage.
That's ridiculous.
Anyway, so I'm jumping on the bandwagon of trying to make that side dough, but I'm jumping off the bandwagon for getting caught. They even caught him red-handed, banging on the bathroom floor.
Did you just make a Shaggy reference?
I just made a Shaggy
Did you just make a Shaggy reference?
I just made a Shaggy reference. I don't even know if I
Okay.
got the words right.
Well, apparently we're back in 1995. This is 95.5 Kiss FM. It wasn't me.
95.5 Kiss FM.
Wow. All right. I didn't think you would make that little. Okay. All right.
I threw you off. I'm sorry. That's all I got for you.
The thing about that song, Alex, is the fact that it came out like 25 years ago, and the fact that like 3 years ago people actually like started playing it, and now everybody knows the song somehow. But it came out so long ago. It's a good song.
She even caught me red-handed, banging on the bathroom floor.
Okay, I'm gonna
How did I? I love his voice.
Oh,
My name is Shaggy, and I talk
Right.
about banging my next door neighbor.
I don't. I'm uncomfortable. Actually, I'm very uncomfortable. That's okay.
It happens.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna jump on something now because you made me feel weird inside. So there's one thing I didn't really think I'd ever do, Alex, and I did it.
What's that?
So there's a bunch of movies out there, right, that have really big fandoms, right? And
Stands, as some people
stands,
say.
as some would say. Not me though. So give me some trilogies and things like that might have really big fans that people are just obsessed with.
Star Wars, Harry
That's
Potter,
good.
Lord of the Rings.
That was a good one. All three of those very, very good. That was very quick off the tongue. One of those I watched for the first time the other night.
Can I guess?
You may guess.
I'm going to go Star Wars.
I've seen all of them, except for the couple new ones. I don't really care about those, but I saw the original 6.
Harry Potter, then.
I've seen them, almost all of them.
All right, then I guess it's the latter. Lord of the Rings.
Because I'm jumping on the bandwagon of LOTR, Lord of the Rings. Because here's the thing, Alex. I always didn't want to watch it. I thought it was boring. They were all 5 hours long, and I never saw myself watching it. But here's the thing, Alex, is I did it. I sat down the other night, last night.
Talk to me. I've never seen them.
Okay.
Talk to me about them. I want to hear about them.
So I watched the first one. I did not watch the second two. The only one that's on Netflix is the first one. Alex.
No spoilers, please. At FreeZeal33 on Twitter. But no
facts only.
spoilers,
No,
please.
listen,
Please don't.
Listen, I think it was a very good movie. Here's the thing: it's exciting. It's long. It's 2 hours and 58 minutes. If you didn't know, it's a long AF, but it's exciting. Alex, you gotta watch it, man. It's hype. There's stuff going on left and right. It's like bang, 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 bang. Every time you think they're about to die, they might not die, but then they could die, and then they get into something else. It's like it's crazy. So I'm jumping on the bandwagon of LOTR because I understand now. I understand why people get tattoos of this stuff. I sat there. I took notes on the movie. I have a whole log of notes that I took on the movie.
Are you serious?
There's notes on my phone of my reactions to these things. And it was...
Can you read some?
Yeah.
Can you read some?
I'll read some. No spoilers, please. At FreeZeal33 on Twitter. Real facts only. I just...
Brought to you by Victor Hensley.
Victor Hensley. 1-800 buy trains. I just... let me see.
BY trains, though, not buy trains.
So, first of all, the opening title card that says Lord of the Rings on it looks like it was made in 1980. So I said...
Okay.
I wrote down... The beginning of this movie looks like it was made in 1980, but then it gets to the title card goes away and it gets to actual people and it looks modern. So then I said, "Oh, never mind, it looks modern." That is the kind of thing I wrote down. Yeah, it was. I mean, like bad radio, but look.
So this is a journey.
Look at this. You ready?
Oh my God! I want you to go through them. At least some of them.
Look at this, Alex. Look at this.
Oh my
Bad
God!
Radio. Look at this.
Did you ever put down your
Please look at
phone?
this. Please look at this, Alex. It's still
You
going.
never put down your phone.
I mean, this is insane.
This is like a 7,000 word article.
No, a friend of mine didn't exactly want me to watch it, but she's a big fan. I was like, you know what? You like Lord of the Rings? I'm gonna come out here and watch it. So I did this, put the log down, and I'm like, I sent it to her, and I'm like, listen.
So, were you with this friend or no?
No, not at all. I just sent it to her, and I'm like, here you go. Here's my reactions. I think she read the whole thing, so that's dedication. I'm telling you, dude. I'm kind of hype on Lord of the Rings right now, and I think I gotta watch the other two. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm jumping on the bandwagon of LOTR because I think I'm a stan now.
Wow. Can you get a tattoo when you lose fantasy football this year?
Yeah, man. Are we doing the tattoo league?
Great. I'm in.
Okay, I'm down.
As long as I don't lose.
As long as I'm gonna name drop this person. As long as my man Alec Toby's in. He was a pansy about it last year, and I hope he listens to this. You know he's a little pansy about it last year, not wanting to do a tattoo.
He backed out.
Man, I'm telling you.
And didn't he end up winning? No, he took
second. I think I came in last, so I'm really glad we didn't do a tattoo league. So here's the thing, Alex, is I think you and Bran, who was another one of our friends, so I just name drop him as well. I'm name dropping people all over the place. So you guys came up with the idea that the first place person is gonna, pick the tattoo for the last person. But it's apparently gonna be you two that do it? What's going on there?
No, the winner will do it, but the league has to approve it.
Okay.
So no penises.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yes, it just has to be like. So in Matthew Barry's book, I can't remember. I think it's A Fantasy Life. I could be wrong though. I read this a while ago, and he talks about all sorts of leagues. There's nice pictures involved, and Tattoo League is one of them.
Okay.
And so this league would do something that happens in pop culture. So the 2000 oh boy, maybe 2007 winner, I think would be the right year when Bieber became a thing.
Yeah.
There was a nice tattoo of Justin Bieber wearing a shirt that said 2007 Fantasy Loser.
Okay, that's fine.
So stuff like that.
I just want to request, if I lose, which I'm not gonna, I'm gonna obviously take first. But if I do lose and somehow get the tattoo league, my whole team gets injured, or have to get a tattoo, then I do not want a face. I don't want someone's face. That's just creepy.
What if it's on your ass cheek?
If
That
it's
would be
anywhere
kinda funny.
on my entire body, I don't want a face. I mean, it could be like if it's like a body and a face, a head on it, like that's different. But I don't want like LeBron James's face on my belly.
With like with a forehead tattoo on his head that says
Fantasy,
2018
I don't like
Fantasy
that
Loser.
at all. So just to put, I'm just gonna put you. And the thing is, if I lose and you win, you're gonna put, just because I said that, you're gonna put the face on my body. But it's okay. My only thing about the fantasy league, just real quick about the tattoo league, is I am almost certain whoever loses is not gonna do it. Even if we all agree to it at the beginning, they're not gonna do it. Watch, just watch.
No, it's gonna happen. We're gonna pin them down. We're gonna false
Something
imprisonment.
about that seems illegal.
Get charged for it.
Yeah, no, I'm down.
False imprisonment, kidnapping, whatever.
False imprisonment?
All of
Where
the
in the
above.
world does false imprisonment come into any of this?
If we trap them in a tattoo shop.
It's not false. False imprisonment is when you go to prison and you shouldn't have gone to prison.
No, incorrect. False imprisonment is also if you force somebody somewhere. So like if you and I got into I love that we're talking about this on the air. If we got into a physical altercation and we were near a doorway and I put my arms up on a doorway and I didn't let you leave, that would be false.
Wouldn't that be entrapping? Illegal entrapping?
I don't know if that's the correct term, but yes, that as well.
I don't think false imprisonment is that, Alex. I don't know legal terms. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think that's it. And Jim Nance,
Let me Google it.
Jim Nance is going to look at it for us, but
I'm on it.
I've never heard that called that. So you're telling me I could charge you for false imprisonment if you pin me up against a wall?
Yes. It's a felony. It occurs when a person is restricted in their personal movement within any area without justification or consent.
Wow, I did not know that. I thought that would just be like taking somebody hostage. I didn't.
We getting educated. We getting learned.
Learnt and turnt.
That's
from the
learnt and turnt up in the bandwagon. Thanks
from
again to Paris Key and Jaylen Hoard for jump. What's that?
From the womb to the tomb.
I love it. Thanks again to Jaylen Hoard and Paris Key for jumping on the bandwagon this fine Tuesday with us. It was an awesome couple of sit downs all over the great North Carolina road trip. We've got more of that coming up this week and next. We've got a lot of stuff, man. We've got a lot of good interviews coming out. So stick tuned. If you're not subscribed, press that subscribe button. If you so wish to, rate us 4 or 5 stars.
You 100%
okay
will rate us 4 or 5. No, 5. I want 5 from everybody that listens to this. 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the way I like to dive. Hey,
1,
go
2,
Victor.
3,
Hey,
4,
hey,
5
go Victor.
M's in my bank account. In my bank account. In
1,
my
2,
bank
3,
account.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank.
That's copyright, Alex. I stopped at 5 so we wouldn't get copyrighted, but thanks.
Oh, sorry about that, Young Jeezy or whoever saying that.
Savage.
I'm Alex. That's Victor.
Good night,
long.
everyone.
Until next time.
Drive safe.
What up, Miss C? It's your boy V Hen. You knew I'd have to come at him again. 2018. 4 years later. Change the style up a little bit. One day I was walking down the street. I was really thirsty, so I walked a piece, had a big glass of water. Then I had to pee, so I ran all the way home. Then I opened up the door. I ran straight to the party. My bladder couldn't hold it anymore. I lifted up the seat, and then I began to pee. They went from the kidneys exited my penis. Then it exited my penis. Later on that night, I had a pain that I couldn't fight. I was dizzy and I had to throw up, and my temperature was as high as you know. I couldn't take it anymore, so I had to go to the doctor. I got checked out. Yeah, boy, I was about to pass out. Then the doctor came in to give me my diagnosis. Last night I was up until 10, worrying about this prognosis. He said, well, Houston, we have a problem. I said, whatever it is, Doc, we're gonna solve it.
Tomorrow's production available in today's morning.
I'm about to put down this microphone. I'm about to put down this microphone. It was a kidney stone. It was a kidney stone. It was a kidney stone. And we out. Drive safe. Thank y'all. It was a kidney.